Hi, hello. So, someone has commented maybe that maybe I should, discuss some of my own videos, and here we are. So this is one of my SIV trainings, my first stall. So let's have a look first, and then gonna discuss it.
Labine Höhe an, warten bis er wieder über uns ist und dann bremsen wir weiter. Beobachten dabei die Hinterkante. Wenn eine Seite abreißt, die andere auch mit abreißen. Dann Hände unten halten, unten halten, unten halten. Jetzt langsam ein bisschen höher gehen, langsam vorfüllen. Noch ein bisschen höher, noch ein bisschen höher. Oh, fliegen lassen, oben lassen. Oben lassen die Hände, linke Bremse, mehr. Linke Bremse mehr, linke Bremse mehr und jawohl. Oben lassen die Hände, linke Bremse leicht. Rechts kurz aufpumpen, Richtung Landefeld kommen. Ich glaube, du bist auch schon ausgetwistet. Aufs Landefeld zukommen, Rafal. Versuch, das schön gerade zu halten, bis du auswistest. Ja, twistet immer noch. Links leicht auf die Bremse, linke Hand, bremst leicht. Jetzt sind wir, ach du, da waren wir Minimum 3-mal, 4-mal eingetwistet. Ich wollte schon Rettung rufen. Okay, dann aufs Landefeld zu, Hände ganz hoch.
Okay, and I'm gonna land. I just have enough altitude to make like a proper approach and land safely. So, what do we see here actually? So this is I think it's day number 7 of me doing SIV ever. So it's my 7th day ever, and it's the first day when I started. It's the first stall actually that I'm gonna do. So until now I've seen basically like collapses, spin entry, spiral, and this controlling the wing shooting forward, basically like doing this type of exercises. This is what I trained until now. Auto rotation entry, like keeping collapse and entering auto rotation. So I did it, and that was the most impressive until this. And then I started to train stalls, and and got much more interesting, as you see here.
Und dann bremsen wir weiter, beobachten dabei die Hinterkante. Wenn eine Seite abreißt, die andere auch mit abreißen, dann Hände unten halten.
Okay, so the instructor actually is telling me to watch the training edge, and when the other one side actually starts to stall, I should pull the other side to stall it too, which I failed to do. It's already probably too much for me in this setup. And actually, what I'm supposed to do here is to brake, keep hands low, and then once I'm in the backfly, raise the hands slowly to stable backfly, and actually backfly. This is actually the beginner stall, so to say. The problem is that if you brake too much, you deflate the wing, and when it loses its shape, then once it's deflated, and when it reopens, it may reopen any configuration, and the risk of getting twist is pretty high. But this is actually one of the elements what happens here. Here is also like this asymmetric stall. So you see now let's move it a little bit. The left side, actually the left wing is already stalled, and actually is flying already in like a backfly. So you see this part of the wing showing forward means that the tip is really like flying back. And the other side is still, it's getting back, but it's still not it's still not stalled. So it's quite a lot of asymmetry happening here. And that was pretty quick. But due to this asymmetry, I have basically, first the thing is fully deformed, and the second it turns actually. It turns to the right because I was spinning left side already while the right side was entering the stall. So yeah, this wing is now turning to the right, pulling me to the right,
langsam.
then there is a moment when the wing kind of like stops a little bit spinning, but I have inertia, so I'm spinning already. And the trick is I'm kind of like fully asymmetrically leaning to the side on the lines. So falling in the lines, kind of like not into the lines, but on the lines, hanging like asymmetrically, and this is very like twist prone position. Actually, what one should do is when you start getting twisted, you rise in your seat and put yourself between the risers, kind of like. This is from my experience what works the best in this situation, but I have no idea at this moment, so here I am. So I'm twisted.
Höher gehen, langsam
I'm twisted some
vorfüllen.
4 times,
Noch ein bisschen höher.
and now I left the brakes, and that what happens is that I don't really have control because the brake lines are twisted between the other lines. So, but when you leave them, they will rise slowly, the brake lines. So the wing will regain, will get back to flying, but it's still kind of like uncontrollable. I cannot just, if I would pull them, I don't know what would happen. But I never tried this. But if you leave them alone, they will slowly go up, and this is actually what happens. So the wing starts to fly. Now it starts to fly. This is the going out of the stall, shooting forward. No control, so I was lucky that it just a little bit, and I didn't have any collapse. This is pure luck. Now I have no control. I'm asymmetric under the wing, twisted, and the brakes are pulled asymmetrically, and because of that I entered. Even if this is a low B wing, I entered the spiral in no time. So actually, I'm already there. And this is a big mistake actually, that I don't show reserve. I haven't shown the reserve while I noticed that I have no control and I'm entering spiral. But actually this is the moment to show the reserve already a little bit like before, because the risk is now I'm turning. If I show the reserve, it may get entangled in the wing, in this rotational movement. One risk, and the second is I may get high G-forces, so my hand may get very heavy and I may not be able to show the reserve just because of the hand that weighs now 100 kilos. Or I may just get blackout in the spiral and lose consciousness and and get spiral to the ground and die. So basically, this is the problem with not showing reserve while entering the spiral. But at this moment, this is I have confidence in my SIV instructor, so I follow what he does, what he says, and I'm waiting for his commandos. I know I have no control actually, so I put my hand at the handle of the rescue, but I don't show it. I wait for the commando to show my rescue, basically. It's another big mistake that I do. But the commando doesn't come because the SIV instructor, he didn't notice that I'm twisted. So he's telling me to steer the wing, which I cannot do due to the twist. And now, since I see that he's not telling me to show the reserve, I just get to the conclusion pretty quickly that maybe there's enough time, there is, that I can figure out something. So I leave the reserve handle and I start to pull some lines over the twist. And now you see here this trailing edge, right one, is getting pulled at the moment. So I just grab the wrong lines and I pull the wing more into the dive, which I realized pretty quickly. And then I just by pure luck again I grab another lines, and those turn out to be the right lines from the left side. And this is actually here now. I grab them, and this makes me leave the spiral dive, which demonstrates you that leaving a spiral dive is not so complicated if you know how to brake. But on the other side, shows you that grabbing right lines over the twist. It's not so obvious actually to grab the right ones. But anyway, pure luck, I was able to get the control. And now the instructor is very helpful because he's actually telling me that I lost a lot of altitude by doing the spiral, because spiraling you are going 10-15 meters vertically down to the ground if you're spiraling on the nose. So basically now he's telling me to turn back to the landing zone where the camera actually is. I should fly towards the camera, and I'm able to do this. So I see I still brake while twisted. He thinks that I'm untwisted, the instructor, but this is the trick, he doesn't see everything because I'm far away. So now I'm turning towards the camera and focus on the twist. So you see the wing is deformed due to the twist. And you know, I'm the smart guy. I'm an engineer, and I see the twist. I observe it, I analyze it quickly, and I start to turn to untwist. And what I do, I turn in the wrong direction. After half a turn, I realize that it's not the right way, so I start to turn the other direction. Lucky for me, you can just turn left or right, because if there would be 10 options, then I would probably try this out, you know, until the end of the day. But, so you see how many twists.
Links leicht auf die Bremse, links, ja, bremst leicht.
How fast
Jetzt
it
sind wir, ach du, da waren wir Minimum 3-mal, 4-mal eingetwistet.
Okay, so here I am, now I'm flying towards the landing zone, untwisted, and now I look on the handle. Because actually I grabbed the handle, I was ready to throw it when I started to spiral there, without control. But then I left it to, you know, grab those lines and stuff, which was the first big mistake actually, because I should just have thrown it and save my life for sure, and not risk, you know, whatever can happen. Because if you don't have control and you are in like this in a spiral, there is a lot of energy, and you pull the wrong line, or just by pure chance the wing just leaves the spiral, and you may just you know, it may get really nasty pretty quickly. In theory, you may even fall into the canopy and die. Or otherwise you may get a collapse and get more spiral, and yeah, it's just yeah, this is just pure luck what will happen if you have no control in spiral like this. So let's follow the German rule sicher sicher, which means basically like sure is sure, and if you have two options, one is maybe a little bit less inconvenient, but it's 100% sure that you're gonna be safe, and the other is maybe a bit less convenient because, you know, maybe you're not gonna land in the water. But there is small risk of getting injured, then I would always go for the safe option, even though it's not inconvenient. And the few times that I did differently, well, not always, but I frequently actually, I don't do so much, but I do it a few times, and a lot of times I was actually I wasn't happy with the outcome of that. So now I'm looking on this handle, and what I see is dangling actually. So the container with the chute, they are with their safety rescue chute. There's parachute is still inside of the harness, but the rescue handle is dangling outside. And I tried to push it inside, but you know, it's you cannot do this properly in this situation. And this is the moment when I do a second mistake, and I decide just to land with this.
Okay, dann Auslandeversuch, Hände ganz hoch.
So now I go to the landing, and actually I land, nothing happens, but this is again pure luck, because this thing is partly deployed, and just imagine it falls out when I'm in my final 5 or 10 meters over the ground, and it just drags me to the ground, and I may get injured basically because of that. So it's another risk, unnecessary risk, and the safe safe option would be to land in the water. So basically that if this rescue goes out of the container, it deploys 5 meters over the ground, I fall in the water, and I have less chance to get injured. So those were the mistakes I did here. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot of respect to the negative maneuvers. So spins and stalls, wherever you stall part of the whole wing. I know that it may get out of control pretty quickly. That's why I would never train this over ground. Initially, actually even now after I have done so many, I have never done it over ground, which is maybe a mistake, but anyway, but there is a risk involved with this, doing this over ground. Although once you get proficient after 200 stalls, you get proficient, and then actually I haven't had any stories with this, but I was also doing stalls differently, because I do it nowadays on 2 times, where you do a pretty precise sequence of brakes, and this actually makes sure that you don't deflate the wing, and this decreases the risk of twists significantly. I would say, yeah, 100% in my case, because I didn't get a stall anyway after this. And I mentioned 200 stalls. Why so many? I just tell you that I did 60 of them, or 50, and they were working pretty nicely. So I made a video and I sent it to a friend, telling him, hey, I mastered stalls and stuff like this. And the next day, just the next day after sending this video, I had a twist, and I landed in the water under rescue parachute. And for the next day I borrowed equipment from a friend, and my first flight again I got twisted and landed in the water. And it really takes a lot of stalls to be able to do them 100% sure. So don't get fooled by the stalls, in the sense that it works many times, 10-20 times in a row, and you think you mastered it. It may still surprise you. As my friend says, stall is a bitch, and that's true. Yeah, so summing up, don't do negative maneuvers unsupervised over ground at the beginning. Have a lot of respect to them. I mean, full stall or spin entry. This is the first conclusion. The second is wherever you are not in control and you're entering spiral, throw your reserve. That's what I should have done here. Whenever there is something that poses a risk, and there is another option that poses less risk, it's a risk to your life basically. So even if it's more inconvenient to go for the safer option with less risk, what I mean. If you're doing SAV, at the end of the day, it's you who are responsible for your safety in the air. It's not the SAV instructor. He may not see something, or he may do a mistake. He may say left instead of right. There were also examples like this in another channel. So this may happen, and just taking into account. And at the beginning it's very difficult because you're just set to follow the instructions. But it's important that you understand this, that if you see something that your instructor doesn't see, it's basically it's your life, it's your responsibility, your safety. And it's also very important to do, in my opinion, once you are very confident with those maneuvers, the SIV maneuvers, to train them without guidance on radio, over water with the boat, so like in an acro club, or there are some other places where you can do it, but with safety. But with safety over water, someone with a boat that may be able to throw you out of the water if you're in trouble. But do it without the guidance, because it's a very different experience, where there is no one telling you what to do, but now it's your responsibility to be in the box, to be in the right place in the space, and to watch your altitude and to take your decisions. And I strongly recommend you this experience too, not just SIV. So summing up, I hope you liked, and if you liked, then like. Hit the like button. If you didn't, then hit the dislike button. If I missed something, or I did something, I said something wrong, then please comment, and see you watching another exciting video. Again, I have some more of my own videos here, so maybe we can also go through them. I think we can learn a lot from them. This was actually the reason why I put them, but at that time I didn't comment them. I just put subtitles, and maybe this is the better way now to discuss the points. So have a nice day. Bye bye.